Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, which is Kesubos Daf Hey. We are on Dalet Amud Beis, 2 lines from the bottom of the Amud. In the last couple of days, we have learned that typically the Zman for the Besula's marriage is on a Wednesday, barring exceptional circumstances such as the Avelus situation we described yesterday, which requires us to address both events, and we allow some flexibility regarding the wedding date. However, even that has its limitations. Amar Mar, let's go back to that brisa where we learned as follows: Ben kach u ben kach, whether we're dealing with a conventional situation or an unconventional situation, which has some unexpected components which require us to be flexible regarding that wedding date. However, lo yivoil, he should not do the bi'ilas mitzvah, referring to that first interaction between the ish v'isha. So this lashon could be referring to the first tashmish, as well as the actual wedding celebration. That should not take place lo b'erev Shabbos, on erev Shabbos, meaning Friday night, v'lo b'motzei Shabbos, and likewise should not take place motzei Shabbos. Explains the Gemara, what's wrong with these two nights? B'shleim b'erev Shabbos. I understand why erev Shabbos is not a feasible option, mishum chabura, because that first interaction with the besula, which in effect removes or disrupts the besula membrane, generates a wound, a chabura, which is a malacha on Shabbos and not permitted. So that takes out Friday night. But what's wrong with having that wedding on Motzei Shabbos? We're concerned that if the celebration takes place right after Shabbos, that might compel him to be involved in preparing for that wedding and preoccupied with the cheshbonis, with the various calculations associated with his marriage on Shabbos itself. Let's go to Rashi on top. Mishum cheshbonis. If he marries Motzei Shabbos, he'll make a suda that night, and on Shabbos itself, he'll be preoccupied with preparing. He'll be thinking, and as the Mefarshim point out, typically thinking is not an issue. Expressing these things is really the concern. And it would seem that Rashi is referring to actually speaking these things out, as the pasuk that Rashi brings has the words v'daber davar. One is not meant to discuss business matters on Shabbos. So if he marries Motzei Shabbos, he'll be involved on Shabbos, which is inappropriate. That's why we discourage marriage on Motzei Shabbos. Amali Abaye. Let's go back to the Gemara. Amali Abaye. V'cheshboinish mitzvah mi'asiri. Why at all? Is this a concern? He's busying himself with calculations in anticipation of what? Mundane matters? No, it's a mitzvah. Well, why is that a problem? One is allowed to be involved in these things on Shabbos. Mitzvah-related cheshbonos are mutar. V'Rav Chizda, v'Rav Amnuna, Damar Tavai, they both told us, cheshbonos shel mitzvah. Mitzvah calculations, mutar l'choshvan b'Shabbos, is perfectly acceptable, even on Shabbos itself. V'Amar B'Lazar, one can pledge tzedakah for the sake of poor people, even on Shabbos itself. Furthermore, one could go over to the gathering places to involve himself and dwell and plan and scheme regarding community matters. Interesting, Rashi says, Mefakhin is meitzin la'or, to reveal, to uncover, to clarify. It's like Mefakhin es hagal, right? They would uncover, they would dig out the pile of rubble to try to find a victim beneath it. So pikuach means to be meitzin la'or, to reveal, to uncover, to clarify, to work through. You can do this even on Shabbos, if it pertains to communal matters. Mifakhin pikuach nefesh b'Shabbos. One is allowed to work through pikuach nefesh issues on Shabbos, even if it involves mundane matters, business matters. It's fine. It's for the sake of a mitzvah. V'am Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Rabbi Yonasan, holchen letartiyos, lekarkiyos. One is allowed to go visit these non-Jewish gathering places, lefakeach aliskei rabim, if the purpose is to address important communal matters. You can do this even b'Shabbos. Furthermore, v'tonat ve'er b'nashya mishatchen al tinoikis le'aris b'Shabbos. Even on Shabbos itself, if one has a daughter who is of shidduch age, he can go ahead and arrange a shidduch for her, even on Shabbos. V'alatinaik le'lamdei sefer. One is allowed to have a discussion with a potential Rebbe to teach his boy Torah. You can do this even on Shabbos. Or le'lamdei umnos, or to arrange a tutor to teach your son a trade. You can go arrange this on Shabbos itself. So what's the problem with marrying a Motzei Shabbos? Your concern is lest he get involved with the preparations on Shabbos itself. The cheshbonos shel mitzvah is mutter on Shabbos. That can't be the concern. Ella Amar b'Zera. I'll tell you the reason. Gzeira shem yishchek ben oif. If he has his Seuda Motzei Shabbos, he might forget himself and go ahead and do a shchita on a bird in preparation for that meal. It would seem from Taisus that shechting an animal, that's a real event, that doesn't come so easily, so quickly. That wouldn't just happen like that, absentmindedly on Shabbos. But a small bird, a quick shchita, perhaps absentmindedly, due to his intense preoccupation with the upcoming wedding, he might just forget himself and do the shchita on Shabbos. That's a malacha. You want to avoid that possibility, don't have your celebration Motzei Shabbos. Asks the Gemara, Amali Abaye, if that's a concern, Elamiata, if so, what about Yom Kippur? Shechal Yos B'Sheni B'Shabbos. Yidacha. If Yom Kippur falls out on a Monday, we should postpone it. We should arrange for an Elul, which has an Ibur, add a day to the Chodesh Elul, which in effect will push Yom Kippur one day later. Why would you do that? Gzeira shem yishchek ben oiv. You see, Erev Yom Kippur was a Yom Tov. Rashi says, shetzrichen laharbois b'suda achar HaShabbos shu Erev Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur was a time to celebrate. Taisa says it was Yom Slicha v'Kapara coming up. It's a mitzvah min Torah to eat on Erev Yom Kippur. Rabbi Yehuda brings several reasons. One of it is that you can't have a Suda on Yom Kippur itself. So when do we celebrate? When do we celebrate the Yom Tov of Yom Kippur? When do we celebrate the fact that we get the Slicha Mechila, we cleansed of our sins? What a opportunity! What a lucky moment! It's a time to celebrate. On top of the fact that it's actually a mitzvah min Torah, mitzvah saseh, one of those few times during the year that we have an actual mitzvah to eat. I think the Chassam Sofer says nowadays it's only twice. We don't have truma or kachim, so the two mitzvahs that are left over for us, the two achila mitzvahs. One is achilas erev Yom Kippur, and number two is achilas matzah on Pesach at night. So in any case, it was a time to celebrate, a time to shecht. So there you go. Same chashash. If you have erev Yom Kippur on a Sunday, right? Yom Kippur was chal on a Monday, which means erev Yom Kippur is on a Sunday. He might be inclined to get going with his preparations, and due to his haste, he might actually do this on Shabbos. Interesting. Tosfos brings the famous medrash, the Medrash Rabbah, Perek Yud Aleph. There was this tailor that he went to the marketplace to buy some fish for the Sudas Erev Yom Kippur, and apparently there was only one fish remaining. So it was him and the emissary of the governor. They were bidding over it, and it went from 1 to 2 to 3 coins to 4 coins to 5 coins. And this tailor outbid the guy. When the ruler heard it, then he lost his fish to the poor Jewish tailor. He was all infuriated and he called him in. He says, "What's going on? Why do you insist on taking the fish away?" So the tailor says, "What do you mean? It's Erev Yom Kippur. It's a time to celebrate. We have a Yom Slicha or Mechila coming up. This is our Yom Tiv. I didn't do it to spite you. It was just something we had to do. It's a mitzvah to eat." And he was pacified, and he spared the Jew. So in any case, Taisus points out that it seems it was an Indian to have specifically oifos and dogim, which the Mefarshim say is easier to digest than typical animal meat. So it's mashma from Taisus. They had animal meat as well, but they would insist on, for the most part, to eat oifos and dogim. So once again, that poses a concern. If it's right after Shabbos, then he might actually get involved on Shabbos itself. Answers the Gemara, there's a difference between one's own private Erev Yom Kippur Su'uda and this grand wedding that he's preparing for. Some over there by Yom Kippur Dil Nafshe. It's only for his personal needs. It's a small scale event, Loi Tarid. He's not overly preoccupied, and it's not going to lead to doing malacha on Shabbos. As opposed to our case where it's a wedding that he's preparing, it's grand. The lacherim, it's for the public, tarid, that gets him overoccupied and perhaps can lead to doing malacha on Shabbos itself. Inami, another terrorist would be, Hasam Islay Rachcha. In the Yom Kippur situation, he still has some time to spare because the Su'udah took place only the following day. Today is Shabbos, Yom Kippur is Monday. When was the actual Yom Tov? The Su'udah on Sunday by day. Not Motzei Shabbos. The whole Shaila in the Mefarshim, whether the Gemara means that there is no mitzvah at all to eat on Motzei Shabbos the night before Erev Yom Kippur. The mitzvah only starts by day. Some Mefarshim are medayik from the Gemara and Rashi that indeed the mitzvah only starts by day. The Gemara says, Islay Ravcha, there's time to spare because the mitzvah only starts by day. Some say no, it doesn't mean that. It just means that the Iker time to celebrate. The Iker was on Erev Yom Kippur by day, but by no means does the Gemara mean that there is no mitzvah to eat on Friday, on Motzei Shabbos, which is the night of the 9th of Tishrei. So that's an interesting shaila, how to learn the Gemara. But in any case, the Iker concern that he might, in his haste, he might do a malacha, that only applies regarding preparing for the actual Suda, for which he has plenty of time. It's only tomorrow. As opposed to the marriage which is taking place tonight, there's no time to spare. Second Shabbos is over, he's got to get things going. He might actually start a bit earlier, run into Shabbos. Continues the Gemara. But now that you've come to this point, meaning Motzei Shabbos is a problem because of a possible malacha that might occur on Shabbos, Erev Shabbos Nami. Let's explain the first part as well. Why not do it on Erev Shabbos, meaning celebrate Friday night? We discussed the Chabura concern, but now we have another, more simple concern, which matches the second halacha in the Brisa. Erev Shabbos, like Motzei Shabbos, entails the same concern, the same gezerah, Shema Yishchet Ben Oif. Look, if he's going to celebrate tonight, Friday night, that might lead to him doing a shchita on a Ben Oif on Shabbos itself. He's running short of supplies, he might actually do a shchita, which is a malach. Okay, so bottom line is, it's not meant to take place Friday night or Motzei Shabbos. We have the Chabura concern on Friday night. We have the Malacha concern on Friday night and Motzei Shabbos. Continues the Gemara. Iboilu, the Bnei Yeshiva asked the following question. So the Mishnah tells us, Besula Nises, when? Liyam Revi. What does that mean? Besula Nises Berevi, the actual marriage is on Wednesday, whether it's Tuesday night or Wednesday itself, but the marriage is Wednesday. V'niv Eles Berevi, and the first interaction between the Chassan and Kala, the first Be'ilah Shal Mitzvah takes place on Wednesday itself. We don't have to wait till Wednesday night. So either it's Tuesday night or Wednesday if it's a dark room, etc. But the point is, Wednesday is fine for that as well. We're not concerned that perhaps the husband, upon discovering his new wife's questionable Besulim status, we're not concerned that he'll lose his motivation by the time, the Bezdin sets up shop the following day on Thursday. Remember, the whole reason why he marries on Wednesday to begin with is because it's the day before the Bezdin sets up court, which addresses any possible bisulim halachic complications. So we want it to be in close proximity to the bezdin. So you marry Wednesday, then you have the bezdin the following day to address any possible concerns. But does he have to wait for the bi'ilas mitzvah until it's very close to these man bezdin? Meaning, does he have to wait until Wednesday night for that, or can they actually do it on Wednesday itself? And there's no concern like kruri daita that perhaps he'll calm down and forget about the episode and just fail to come to bezdin. We're not concerned about that. Sure, if he sees a problem, he'll come running the next day. Or perhaps there is that concern. She marries on Wednesday, but bi'ilas mitzvah has to wait until Wednesday night because it has to take place as close as possible to the Zman Bezdin, which is the following morning on Thursday, because we are concerned that perhaps due to passage of time, he might lose motivation. He might calm down and just forget about that episode and never address this Besulam issue. So which way is it? Toshma, here comes a raya. The Tani Bar Kapara presents a brisa as follows: Besulinis es b'Revi, the marriage is on Wednesday. V'niv eles b'chamishi, the beila takes place indeed on a Thursday, meaning on Wednesday night, but not because of your concern. We're not concerned about ikrure daita that he might forget about the besulim issue. No, that's not the problem. Rather, we prefer chamishi for beila because it adds to their marriage. It adds bracha. Because on the 5th day of Brias HaOlam, we have bracha l'dagim. We have the pasuk which says, Peru, Revu, Milus Hamayim. Hashem gives a bracha to the fish, and we want the chassan and kala to tap into that bracha and bring it upon themselves as well. Hamalach hagoyel v'yidgul aroiv b'kerev haaretz. They should multiply like fish. So that's why we have the first interaction on Thursday. And the brisa continues, Almana nises b'chamishi. That's a besula, but an almana, an isha who had previous interaction with a man, whether she's an almana or a gerusha, so there's no besulim concern. There's no concern of discovering her a non-besula and running into issues of isur v'heter. So now we allow it to marry on a Thursday, v'nev elas b'shishi, and bi'ilas mitzvah takes place on Friday, meaning Thursday night. Why? Why do we prefer this arrangement? Because on Friday we have the bracha from Hashem directly to the Adam. So we want this couple to tap into that bracha. And that's why we arranged their wedding in this way. Now, by the psula, obviously we couldn't wait until this late in the week because we have to time it based on the bezdin, which only sits on the Thursday. So we have to move the wedding back to Wednesday in preparation of the bezdin. But bottom line is, the brisa does tell us that Nesuin of the Besula is Wednesday, Beila is Thursday. Why? For one concern only, Tama Mishum Bracha. It's only because of the bracha we want applied to them. The bracha of Thursday. Aval Mishum Yikrur Edaita Lechashin. But we're not concerned about this fellow discarding any Besulim concerns, this fellow losing motivation, calming down, and forgetting about the Isser V'Heter of the Besulim situation. So apparently that's not a concern. And therefore, Lahalacha, a Bilas Mitzvah can take place even on Wednesday, even though there's still plenty of time between Wednesday and the Bezdin, which is Thursday. It's only because of the Bracha, which is applicable to Thursday, do we advise them to do the Bilas Mitzvah on Thursday, which is really Wednesday night. Asks the Gemara, if Bracha is such a paramount factor here, why don't we arrange the Almana's marriage in that manner as well? Almana nami tibol b'chamishi, let the Almana do their Beila on Thursday. They should also get the bracha to the Dagim. Answers the Gemara, Yeah, that's the bracha to the fish. But bracha the adam adifale, certainly. Hashem's bracha directed at man stands higher, is more valuable, is more direct and superior, and therefore they tap into that bracha, since they have that ability, because they don't have to time their wedding and have it revolve around the Bezdin's sessions. So they do the Bilas Mitzvah on Friday. V'inami. Another answer could be, answer to what? To this question, why we have the Almana's marriage take place starting Thursday, Bilas Mitzvah happening on Friday. What's the point? Mishum Shaktu. Because the Chachamim had a concern. They were looking after the Bnei Yisrael and wanted to ensure a proper, respectable marriage. The Sanya, Mipnei ma amru, Almana nisis b'chamishi. Why is it so? The Chachamim instruct the Almana to marry on Thursday, v'nevelas b'shishi, and do the Be'ilah on Friday. She'im ato imer tibol b'chamishi, because otherwise, if they advance it by one day, meaning he marries on Thursday and does the Be'ilah on that same day, you know what happens? You see, when it's not a first marriage, then the Mishta, the Imam Mishta, do not extend for 7 days. It's only a one-day affair. So we're concerned that if they marry on a Wednesday or on a Thursday and they do the Be'ilah on that day, you know what happens? L'machar, the next day, meaning Friday, day after the Be'ilah, mashkim lum nasei v'halichlei. This fellow will just get up in the morning and go to work and abandon his wife. So they celebrate that one day, the marriage day, the wedding day, and perhaps the next day as well, because it's the day of the Be'ilah. That's it. And he goes to work. Chachamim were not satisfied with that. They wanted the newlyweds to spend some time with each other. Shaktu Chachamim al takanas b'nei Yisrael. The Chachamim was sensitive. They wanted to look after the takanas b'nei Yisrael, to help the newlyweds and the new fresh wife, that she should have some time together with her new husband, at least 3 days. Shehei sameach ima shloisha yom. They should at least spend 3 days together at the start of their new life. And that's why they arranged the wedding date, as we explained. Marry on Wednesday. This way it's your day of celebration. That's the one day of celebration. And then you have Thursday, which Rashi says is the day where there was the Be'ilas Mitzvah. That creates a certain endearment. There's a Chibas Bia. He'll stay home then as well. Sorry, just the opposite. They start on a Thursday, so they celebrate on the Thursday. That's the Yom HaChuppah, that's the wedding date. Then you have the Be'ilah on Friday, right? Sorry, I went back one day. So you start on a Thursday, that's the Yom HaChuppah. Then Friday, right? We said the Be'ilah takes place Friday, Thursday night, Friday. That's the Chibas Bia, due to the endearment of the interaction. That keeps him home for that day. And then we have Shabbos, where he's home regardless. So you have 3 days of Simcha. So we have Shloisha Yom Chamisha b'Shabbos, that's the Yom HaChuppah. Ve'erev Shabbos, that's the Yom HaBia. V'Shabbos itself, so you have 3 days. And that's why the Almana marries on Thursday. So we have 2 reasons. Either because we want them to tap into the bracha, which was given li Adam Harishon, which was on Friday, or Shaktu, in order to ensure a 3-day celebration. Ma'ika bein bracha l'shaktu. Any difference between both of these reasons? There will be a difference as follows: Adam bata. This fellow is unemployed. He's not going to work in any case. So in that case, marry any day. because in any case he's going to be spending time at home. But because of the bracha factor, he should marry on Thursday and do the Be'ilah on Friday. Inami, another difference would be Yom Tov Shechaliyos Be'erev Shabbos. Yom Tov falls out on a Friday. Now, if the reason is related to bracha, so that's why we marry on Thursday, so we have the bracha on Friday, it would apply even in this case. But if the whole point was Shaktu Chachamim, Chacham were diligent and looked after Takanas Bnei Yisrael, we want him to be with her for 3 days. In this case, we don't have to insist on marrying on Thursday. The whole point was that he's with her Thursday and Friday, and then we have the Shabbos. But in this case, when Yom Tov is on Friday, he can marry on Wednesday as well. First 2 days, he's with her in any case, right? The Yom HaChuppah and the Yechivas Bia. And the third day, Friday, is Yom Tov. He's home with her in any case. So in this case, we can allow him to marry on a Wednesday. Okay, perhaps let's summarize the halachos that we learned in the last couple of daf regarding the designated Yom HaNesuin wedding date. So we have an entire week, starting from Yom Rishon all the way till Motzei Shabbos. So in the time of Chazal, when they had the Beis Din established and in session on Mondays and Thursdays, a Besula would marry on Wednesday, barring exceptional circumstances such as an oinus due to the army men coming to steal the wedding provisions, or in a case where you have a mace who just passed away, you have to address that situation. We can advance the wedding all the way back till Monday or Sunday as per need. Likewise, they would switch it to Tuesday to avoid the oinus, the sakana generated by the hegmoin, by the governor, who would insist on interfering with their marriages. But otherwise, under ordinary circumstances, the Zman Nisuin for Besula was Yom Revi, and some say it's the previous night, Tuesday night. In any case, L'Yom Revi. That's the marriage. As far as the Niv Elas, that part of the marriage, that happens the next night. Why? Because on that day, Hashem gave a bracha to the Dagim. We want them to tap into that bracha as well. What else happens on Thursday? A previously married woman marries on that day, and Niv Elas on the following night, Leil Vav, for 2 reasons. Firstly, we want the bracha, which was given to Adam, we want it applied to them as well. And the point of Shaktu, we want them to have 3 days together, Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos, the Shloishes Yimei Simcha, to kick off a successful married life. Now, Leil Shabbos is not a time for marriage. There are 2 reasons. There's a Chabura concern, and the possible Isser Malacha Shem Yishchet B'Shabbos. Likewise, on Motzei Shabbos is a concern that he might get overly involved in his preparations and actually come to do Malacha, to be Sheichet Eben Oif on Shabbos itself. Continues the Gemara. So we had one discussion presented by Bar Kapara, which referred to Divrei Agada, the bracha given by Hashem to Adam Arishon, etc. We have another Dvar Agada from the same Manda Amar. Darash Bar Kapara, G'doyle Maaseh Tzadikim, Yoser Mimaaseh Shemayim V'Aretz. The deeds of the righteous fellows of the Tzadikim is in fact greater than the creation of Shemayim V'Aretz. The Shemayim V'Aretz are just a catalyst, just a means to facilitate the Maaseh Tzadikim which takes place within the realm of Shemayim V'Aretz. That is the goal. So the Maaseh Tzadikim stands higher. That's the realization. That's the actualization. That's the purpose and goal of the B'riyas Olam. Where do we see this? Di'ilu b'Maaseh Shemayim V'Aretz. When it comes to creating heaven and earth, what does it say? Ksiv af yodi yosta Oretz. My hand is Hashem's hand, a single hand, established the Oretz. V'yiminu tibcha Shemayim, and my right hand formed the heavens. So we see it's only one hand that is involved. V'ilu b'Maaseh Yadayim Shel Tzadikim. When it comes to Maaseh Yadayim of Tzadikim, we find both hands involved. Ksiv Mochan L'Shivtecha Pa'alta Hashem Mikdash. That's the Beis HaMikdash. Hashem Koinenu Yodecha. So the Beis HaMikdash, which is the Masi de Tzadikim, is associated with both hands. Marshal explains, Alpi Drush, Alpi Kabbalah, says there are two tracks, so to speak, in this world. There's the right hand, the left hand. One is referring to strictness, to din, the other to chesed, to rachmim. So the right hand is more chesed, the left hand is referring to strictness and justice. And typically it's either or. Either Hashem expresses himself this way or that way, but the tzaddikim have the ability to synthesize the two. Through their masim tovim, through their tzidkus, their great deeds, they actually bring about a softening, so to speak. They temper the midas hadin so that it's tempered with compassion and rachmim. That's what the Gemara means, that both hands are involved. It's a joint effort. It's a synthesis between both midas, and that's accomplished by the greatness of the tzaddik. Hey shibavli echad. So there was one Babylonian who responded, who challenged Bar Kapara. His name was Rabbi Chia. The Farshim explained the Babylonians were known to be not so clear in their diction, not so being medactic in lettering and wording. So he had this kasha, which indicates that the Yabeshas, the dry land, was formed by Yadav, Lashon Ravim. Answers the Gemara, Yadai Ksiv. Look at the spelling, Yadai, which is singular. V'ksiv Yatsaru. It says Yadav Yatsaru, they formed. It sounds like it's more than just one former, one creator, one hand. Amar of Nachmar Yitzchak, Yatsru is not going on both hands. It's only one hand, but Etzba Isav. Hashem's fingers, so to speak, were involved in forming the land. But it was just expressed by one hand. As we find in the pasuk, that the fingers of Hashem are involved in creation. Ki eresh hamecha. David HaMelech says, I look up to thee, wondrous sky. Ma'aseh etzbeisecha, the work of your fingers. Yerech kechamash hakananta, the moon, the stars, which you have formed. Meisvei, here comes a kash. Hashemayim mesaprim kvoid keil. U'ma'aseh yada magad rakia. So the sky, the rakia, are all speaking Kavod Kel, the honor of Hashem. Umasa Yadav Magad Rakia, which sounds like it's been formed by the Yodayim of Hashem, both hands. Hachikamar, the pasuk means like this: Ma Seidem Shel Tzadikim Mi Magad. Who speaks? Who serves as testament to the greatness of the Tzadikim's deeds? Who testifies on their behalf? Harakia, the sky. In which way? Umaniu, how does it testify? Matar. Through shedding its water, through raining upon the Tzaddikim's request. Let's take a look at Rashi, launched on the bottom. Hachikam. Hayu Masa Yadav. The pasuk speaks about Masa Yadav. It is actually B'Masa Tzaddikim Ksiv, referring to the Tzaddikim's deeds. Shekruyin Masa Shalhem, Masa Yadav Shal Kadosh Baruch Hu. Why does the pasuk refer to their masim as Hashem's Masa Yadayim? Because it's all one and the same. Tzaddikim fulfill the Ratzon Hashem. Their masim are a actualization of the will of Hashem. V'chikamar, the pasuk means like this: Masa Yadav, Hu Masa Tzaddikim. Who speaks about the Masa Tzaddikim? Magad Rakia. The Rakia serves as edus, testament to their masim tovim. Sherakia meid aleim labriyos. Tells everybody, look at these tzaddikim, shem tzaddikim. In which way? How does it express that testimony? Shemispal nala gesham matayored. Look, as soon as the tzaddik davens for rain, it starts raining. So by their behavior, they are serving testament to the greatness of tzaddik. Continues the Gemara, another Devar Agada from the same Manda Omer. Dorosh Bar Kapar. So when they went out to war, you meant to keep a tool next to you. Yased, a spade, a spike. Allah Azeinecha next to your weapons, which you use to dig up and cover your waist. Al Tikri Azeinecha. Instead of Azeinecha, read it Ella Alaznecha, to serve your ears. In which way? Shemishma Adam Davar She'ein Hagan. If a person ever hears something inappropriate, what do? You plug your ears. Yaniach. It's boy ba'aznav. He's meant to take his finger, which is long and narrow, just perfectly suited for this purpose. Yaniach es boy ba'aznav. He inserts his finger into his ears and plugs out the inappropriate conversation. V'hainu dam Rabbi Lazar. As Rabbi Lazar tells us, mipnei ma es ba'eser shel adam. Why is it that Hashem created one's fingers daimously say this, to appear like long spikes? Says the Gemara, my time up. In which way is it reminiscent of Yisaidis? Do you mean because Hashem made 5 fingers separate from each other instead of one like a glove-like hand? Is that what you're referring to? Well, I have a simple answer for that. Every finger has its own purpose, its own function. Even within the Torah, we find that each finger functions separately. Damamar, Zu Zeres, the pinky, small finger, that's meant to be the beginning of the Zeres, the Tefach, with which we measure the Choshen, right? Zu Kmitza, the next finger, that's what you use for the Kmitza. Zu Amma, the middle finger, that's the longest one. You measure the Amma from there, from the tip of the long finger until the elbow, that's the Amma. The next finger is Zu Etzba, that's for the Kohen, applying the dam of the carbon. The thumb, Zagui Goidel, that's meant for the halachas, let's say, Bemitzayra, they put the dam there. So of course, each one has to be on its own. You see once again the same idea that the person's body was fashioned in a way that it serves to fulfill the mitzvah HaTorah. The world, the person is a catalyst, is a means for fulfillment of the Ratzon Hashem Torah mitzvahs. In any case, what's your problem? What do you mean, why do we have 5 separate fingers? We need each one for its own sake. Ela ma'atam meshupaski. Say this. The question was, why do they narrow at the tip? The answer is to plug your ears. Shem yishma adam davar she'ein hagan. If a person should hear something inappropriate, yaniach etz ba'osav ba'aznav. He inserts his fingers and plugs his ears. Tana dvira b'shmuel. We learned in a brayso from the Beis Medrash of Rabbi Yishmael, the same idea. Mipnei ma oizen. Why do we find that one's ears is kula kasha? For the most part, it's made of stiff cartilage. V'al yoraka, but the lobe is kind of soft. Why that disparity between the top and the bottom of the ear? There's a reason. There's a purpose. Shem yishma adam davar she'ein hagan. If a person is exposed to inappropriate chatter, Yaakov al yolaseicha. He's meant to bend that lobe into his ear and plug his ears. Taner Rabbanan, al yashmiya adam la'aznav dvarim b'teim. A person should ensure that his ears are not exposed to idle chatter, even if it's not dvarim asurim, but idle chatter is damaging. Because one's ears are very susceptible, very sensitive. In fact, the eardrum and all that is very, very delicate, and in a spiritual sense as well. Ears are very delicate, and it gets burnt. Nikvais means it gets burnt the first. And the Farshim point out that the Gemara here switched the Lashon. We're speaking just about Dvarim B'Telem. I think it's the Maharsha who says this. Ears are very sensitive. Even Dvarim B'Telem, not Lashon Hara, but just, idle, useless chatter. That's scary because it can lead, one thing leads to the next. As the Pasuk says, B'roiv Dvarim lo yecht al pesha. Too much talk just inevitably ends up veering into forbidden territory. So, keep away from that as well. Continues the Gemara. Iboilu. Here comes an interesting shaila posed in the Beis HaMedrash. Ma'u livoil betchila b'Shabbos. May one interact with an isha for the first time. Can a person be boila b'sula on Shabbos? Now Rashi right away points out, don't we have a brisa way back when, in the beginning of the daf, which didn't allow Bila on Friday night because of Chabura. So Rashi says, or either they didn't hear the brisa, or the question was, do we paskin like that brisa? Okay, so what does it depend on? We have many factors to reckon with. Here goes. Dam mifkat pocket. Shall we say that the dam contained in basulim, this hymen membrane, is merely deposited there. Or is it actually connected to the flesh, to the skin? In which case, disrupting it and making it bleed would constitute a chabura. So chabura and chibur, all really the same idea. When does blood removal constitute chabura, which is a malacha on Shabbos, nitilas neshama, right? Taking away nefesh, because dam and nefesh go together. When is it considered a chabura? When it was mechubar. Mechubar and chabura go together. When initially it was connected to that skin. It was mechubar. So now disrupting it constitutes chabura, which is netilas neshama. So disrupting the basulim would constitute a chabura, which is asur on Shabbos. Or no, mifkad pocket. The blood there is not really considered like a regular conventional dam, which is embedded inside one's flesh. It's rather just deposited there. It's like a pocket of dam. In which case, you're not doing a chabura, you're just sort of busting a balloon and taking out blood which was deposited there. Rashi compares it to a locked door. It's just being opened and allowing the blood to trickle out. That's not a chabura, that's not a malacha. So which way is it? Chabura or no chabura? Asur or mutar? Okay, let's suppose it's mifkat pocket. It's bikotin, it's just deposited there. The dam there is a separate entity. It's not part and parcel of the skin. So there's no chabur. But there might be another problem. Breaking through that membrane creates an opening, making a pesach. That in itself is a malacha, binyan. He's fashioning, he's building, he's creating. Either it's a malacha of boina, some sefer learns it's makeh b'patish, the last finishing touches on an item or improving on something. That's called makeh b'patish. It indicates it's a malacha. Skip chabura. But it could be a malacha by the mere fact that he's opening a channel. So again, even if you'll suppose there's no chabur concern. Now, l'damu tzarach v'shari, shall we say that his whole purpose here is to extract the dam? And Tosfos says he has to see whether she's a psula. That's one of his primary objectives here. So that'll be okay. Or perhaps it's not okay. L'pesach u'tzarach v'aser. He's trying to create a channel. And that's a malacha. So is his primary interest extraction of dam? So although there's a pesach formed, but it's davar she'enei miskaven. He's not trying to do that. So davar she'enei miskaven is mutar. Or no, his primary intent is to open the channel. He's making binyan with kavana. That's a malacha. If you'll tell me l'dam u'tzarach, his primary objective is the dam. U'pesach memelukasi, and the pesach just happens on its own. It's a secondary effect of what he's doing. It's not his kavana. Then the question is as follows: Halacha k'Rab Shimon, do we pass like Rab Shimon, the Amar who says davar she'ein miskaven mutar? If you have no intention, it's okay. Or no, halacha k'Rab Yehuda, we follow Rab Yehuda, davar she'ein miskaven asur. A person does a ma'isa on Shabbos, which generates a secondary effect, which is a malacha. Even though he has no kavanah for that, that's not his primary intent, it's still asur. If you'll tell me, it's like a triple-decker Shabbos. If you'll tell me, halach Rabbi Yehuda, we follow Rabbi Yehuda that. Even though that's not his primary intent, it's asur. Davar she'ein miskaven asur. But still, maybe we'll salvage it. It's mutar because, after all, mikalkel hu eitz la pesach. Maybe it's considered destruction. Rashi says, and untampered with women, Absula, has higher value than otherwise. So he's actually lowering her value. It's a makalkal. And a makalkal on Shabbos is pater. And perhaps in this case it's mutal chatchila, Tosfos says, because on top of the fact that it's makalkal, it's also in a miskaven. Let's not forget he's doing a mitzvah. So it would be okay. Or, says the Gemara, no, it's not a makalkal, he's not destroying. He's improving. The fact that he's opening that channel, that's being masakin the isha. That's the way she's meant to be. So we had a shaila. Be'ila b'Shabbos is mutter or asur. What's the shaila? We have two possible concerns. Chabura, which is a malacha, and binyan, which is a malacha. If you'll tell me there's no chabura, because the dam is just mifkat paka, it's just the positive dam, which is being let out. But what about the fact that he's making a Pesach? No kavana. What do you mean? But maybe davar she'einu miskaven is also. Maybe it's just being mekalkel. Okay, ikadamri. There was another version, another approach to this question. So the shaila starts the same way. Is it mutter or asr? Firstly, we address the possible chabura. Is the dam mifkat pocket, no chabura? Or is it chabure michber? It is a chabura. Now we took a different approach. We'll assume that there is a chabura. In the first version, we assumed there's no chabura. Now we're assuming there is chabura. Imtim salam, you'll tell me dam chibura michber. The dam, even in the psula membrane, is considered connected, absorbed within the flesh, and in which case unleashing it would be considered a chabura. So there is a chabura concern, but still, maybe it's mutar because la damu tzarich va'asr. Do you say he's looking for the dam? So he's actually making a chabura with intent. This will help him discern whether she's a psula. So that's his primary intent. So it's asr. Or you can say no. It's davar she'ein miskaven. Why? He's busy with his own interaction, his own ano. That's the ikar maisa. The chabura that's happening is just secondary. It's davar she'ein miskaven. Therefore, it's mutar. If you'll adopt this approach, that it's mainly his own personal involvement, it's not for the dam. The dam that comes out is just on its own. It's not really his ikar goal, his ikar objective. Then the question is, halachik Rabbi Yehuda, do we follow Rabbi Yehuda who says even davar she'ein miskaven is asur? Or maybe no, halachik Rabbi Shimon, we follow Rabbi Shimon who holds davar she'ein miskaven is mutar. If you'll tell me that it's asur, well, we have another reason for heter. Mekalkel b'chabura. Shall we say that true? It is a chabura, but after all, he's being mekalkel. He's destroying, as we explained before, because he's turning a besula into a beula. That's a downgrade, and mekalkel is okay on Shabbos, even if it involves a chabura. Or maybe it's considered a tikkun. It's an upgrade because he's opening a channel which enables her to further interact and to bear children, etc. No, maybe you'll tell me it's a mekalkel. But now we still have another shaila. Who says mekalkel is mutar? Mekalkel halach Rabbi Yehuda. Shall we say that we follow Rabbi Yehuda's approach that mekalkel b'chabura is mutar? Or halach Rabbi Shimon, or perhaps we follow Rabbi Shimon. Two separate, unrelated machlekes. One is whether davar she'ein miskaven is mutar, that's Rabbi Shimon, or it's asa, that's Rabbi Yehuda. We have another shaila. If one does a chabura by way of kilkel, is that okay or not? Rabbi Yehuda says okay, Rabbi Shimon says not. So that's another shaila. So we follow Rabbi Yehuda, that's okay. Or like Rabbi Shimon, they would say mekalkel b'chabura is chayiv. So basically we have the same shaila, but we're approaching from different angles. In the first approach of the Gemara, we assume, so to speak, that it's not a chabura. But then that led us to the next issue of Pesach, of binyan. And we analyzed that. We had some svaras that it's mutar. In the second approach, we're sort of adopting the theory that it is a chabura, but still it might be mutar, it's ein miskaven, it's mekalkel. So what's the halach? Itmar, we learned, b'bei Rav, in the Beis Medrash of Rav, in his yeshiva, Amri, they would say that what? Rav, Shari, Rav, their Rebbe allows it. We take on the lenient approach to the shaila. Ushmol Asar, Shmuel, the other Rosh Yeshiva, who lived in Narda, he says you can't do this on Shabbos. That was the Rav's yeshiva version of things. But in the town of Narda, which was the town of Shmuel, they reversed the names. They said Rav is the Asar, Ushmuel is the Shari, he's the Matar. If you want to remember who said what? V'simonech. Here's your simon. Elu mekilan la'atzman, ve'elu mekilan la'atzman. Everybody was being mekel, meaning in Rav's yeshiva, they adopted the version where Rav is the mater, because he's their Rosh Hashiva, and they were following the heter of their Rosh Hashiva. In Hardah, they took the other approach, because they held that it's mutter. So according to their version of events, their Rosh Hashiva Shmuel was the mater, and Rav was the Yisr. L'maisa, bottom line is the Shulchan Aruch paskins that we actually are mater, and if it should so happen that there's a situation of a besula on Shabbos, we paskin mutter livoil. Okay, let's do a quick chazara. We spoke about the Zman Nesuin, not on Friday night, not on Matzah Shabbos. We had the concern of Malacha. If it's Friday night, he might do Malacha on Shabbos. If it's Matzah Shabbos, in his haste, in his preparation, he might actually do Malacha on Shabbos as well. We spoke about the Almana marrying on Thursday. We have two reasons for that. We want the Be'ilah to take place on Friday. Hoyel v'nemr by bracha la'adam. In addition to the fact that the Shaktu Chachamim at Takanas Bnei Yisrael, Chachamim were diligent, were concerned that the Bnei Yisrael should have a happy start to their life, and we want 3 days of Simcha before he goes out to work. So that's going to be Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. We discussed the greatness of Matzah Tzadikim, which surpasses the Maaseh Shemayim V'aretz. One's ears can be plugged using one's fingers or earlobe, which were specifically fashioned for this function. We had a shayla regarding Be'ilah b'Shabbos Tchila. We had Chabura concerns, we had Binyan concerns. It turns out to be a machlekes, and all the shittas are vying to be mater. All the best to you and much hatzlacha.